Hello, my name is Ehiko Chungumezi, and this is the first episode of Unscripted, the New Africa's podcast. With me here in the studio is,
Additional Israel.
and we will be talking matters. We will be delving deep into matters, so stick around and enjoy. Happy Democracy Day, Nigeria. Yesterday was our Democracy Day, and I was just going through my FYP, as it's called, and I saw a lot of posts about Democracy Day, and what stood out to me was the change, the very big change from what my FYP was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I had a lot of bring back our children, where are the 46, we're not keeping quiet till the 46 come back, and just one event yesterday changed that. And it's like, okay, okay, so does Democracy Day distract us from what is really going on? Sometimes I feel that in Nigeria, we are too distracted to be angry because one week we're saying we're not keeping quiet, we're not stopping about it, we're not going to stop talking about this until these children come back. Then one simple event, just one event, and then everything is forgotten, everything is washed away. What are your thoughts on this?
Thank you very much. Let me start by quoting a scripture from the Holy Book, and it goes thus: it says, "If the foundation is faulty, what can the righteous do?" Now, a lot
Hmm.
of times you see people we have grown in faulty foundations, in faulty systems, such that when the time of when the time to express finally comes, there's a way we do not have sufficient room to express ourselves. Why? Because there has not been platforms of such things happening
Expressions,
before,
yeah.
right? And so the frustrations and the anger of Nigerians, I believe, is one of those things. Because the average Nigerian has almost all their life dealt with frustration, almost all their life dealt with pain,
Mm-hmm.
and so we were only taught to move on. Like that's the constant thing. The only thing that you learn as a Nigerian is how to move on fast, how not to. There's a positive side to that,
Stay, yeah.
yeah. But on the long run, this thing seeps into every facet of life, such
Mm-hmm.
that we no longer have the feeling, the ability to dwell in our pain and really take it all in, rather than taking it in, we
And
find
then
an escape to it,
just
right?
sorry, I was to say like what I said before. I remember I think that was last 2 weeks ago on a Tuesday
Mhm.
when the whole thing happened, the children were kidnapped. And I came back from work and like I usually do just like me time, I do this binge scrolling. So I remember I scrolled the first video, someone was talking about how children less than 5 years old. I scrolled another one, teacher was beheaded. I scrolled another one, that these children are in the forest, we don't know what's going on. And then the next post I got was a post, I think it was not to, I don't say the name, but it was a comedy. And it was like 30 seconds ago, I was feeling pain that, oh, this is what is happening. And then the next thing I know, I'm laughing, like out loud. That just, your comments just reminded me of how we know how to deal with our pain in the sense that we don't face it full on, we don't face it head on. It's like just another day. Oh.
Yeah.
I remember someone even said when this whole thing happened, I was in a taxi and someone said, well, thank God though, that last time Shebi was 290 something
Sure.
Chibok girls, and now it's just 46. We know, thank God. Do we trauma bond? Like, are we so traumatized that we can't feel pain anymore? Like,
Yeah, I think that word is very valid. I believe that a large part of society we are traumatized, and pain is just a normal occurrence in life. You
mm,
know, we have, like I rightly said, if the foundation is faulty, there's such a thing where once people experience pain, pain is a norm in every life. We even teach it as a requirement for success. You must first go through pain. Yes, there's pain as a result of putting in work, like effort.
mhm.
But there's also pain as human feeling. There's the ability to take in emotions. And I feel Nigerians, we lack the ability to sit still.
Mm,
And that is a gift on its own. When you sit still, you are able to reflect. You are not, your mind is not everywhere. Your mind is on a thing. You are standing on a thing. And when you stand on a thing, you're able to absorb it. You're able to think through. But we don't think through. All we do is we feel it for a while and we
And
get
that
the
is
next distraction. It's almost like we are looking for doses of
mm,
distractions such that
mm,
the average person here currently, you are facing a lot in your life, but there's a way you just want, come on, let me first. Do you understand?
as well.
That's like the way we have normalized society. And
Mm,
this thing has started from the foundations. It started from our upbringing. It started from what we got to see growing up. The average Nigerian knows that nobody's coming to see him. So that in itself, it gives people the ability to, in a way, take advantage of other people because
mm-hmm,
to some extent,
mm-hmm.
nobody's really going to fight for you.
Actually,
Nobody
yeah.
really has your time. A citizen of the United States, if he were to be in Nigeria, even if it was a person, we rightly know that if anything was going to happen in Nigeria, they can move a garrison just because of one person.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Nigeria, as we have it, we are blessed. There's a way we thrive in our ability to be independent as individuals, not having to
Yeah.
depend on the other person, not having to trust the other person to see through to things when you are not around. A lot of us now, we are just, should I say, we are just feeling sorry because it's not yet our turn. And this thing started from Meduguri. It started coming down. But
Little
because
by
it's,
little.
yes, it's
It
not
had not
affecting me.
come very
A lot of people didn't
close.
take it
Yeah,
seriously.
it's just the north. It's just the north.
Now it's in Ibadan. Who knows where it's going to
Mm,
next, right? And if you look at it, it's growing by the day.
it is.
Before you know, the 36 states of Nigeria, we are not safe anymore. Who do you now hold accountable? But because for you now, or for me, it's not yet my family
Has not
members
hit
being
me
it's
yet.
like, yeah, so it's like, God can still do it. We are still going to, the government can still, but
We
if
need
it
to pray
concerns you,
more.
yes, we need to have this human feeling. We need to have that ability to,
Humanity.
yes, you
We've
need to
lost it.
connect with that. We don't have it anymore. And I feel that is that's the baseline. If you cannot feel,
Mm.
I don't think you are
What
able to.
really differentiates us from animals feel, funny enough.
Yes,
Animals feel. So I can't even say that differentiates us from animals. Because animals feel.
you know, this thing, funny how this thing still boils down to, like I said, foundations.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take, for instance, we are in the male mental awareness month, or,
Yeah.
all of that. And shout out to every man out there. But
Uh,
you will see that growing up as a child, once a female child falls and a male child falls, a lot of times the response to both are different. It's like, the lady has fallen, come on, how are you? Sorry, what is going on? This. But a lot of times when a male child falls, like man, stand up, don't shout, don't let him know that he will cry. Just be quiet. Let him. Now, these things, it does not cut across the board, definitely.
yeah,
But
because I
a
can't
large amount of males can relate to what I'm saying.
really.
Yes, a large amount of people can relate to what I'm saying. Now, when it now comes to the part of emotional connection,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of us as Nigerians don't have emotional connection with our family members. It's as if a
Very
lot of
real.
us wanted to run
Very
out of our
real.
houses at a young age. You just,
Like
it's an escape.
even if you get older and you have to go for family meetings, so there's a wedding, you have to. I don't know. It happens to me. I have to. There's this the time before I have to see my parents
You
and the
prep
whole
your mind.
family. I'm preparing like, okay, hmm. And then when I finally get there, it's like, okay, and then we'll soon finish. This one will soon end. And when it ends, I'm like, yep, so the next one. I get that.
So a lot of us, funny enough, we can't sit in the same room with our family members for hours, just talking,
Just
just
yeah,
having connecting.
conversations
It
that
doesn't happen. Now, how do you expect to translate these connections
to
to
other
other
people that are
people?
not even related to you by
Do you
blood.
understand? Once you
Yeah,
see people abroad now, you see children of 2, 3 expressing their emotions.
yeah.
And it's almost like, you like it. But the room to do that
It's
here,
not
it's really
given.
not. No, you can't find it. So those people, they can connect. When you slap a person, you know how it feels. But a lot of us, we have been abused emotionally, such that we feel it's the order of the day. For
It's
instance,
normal.
the bandits that kidnap people, some of them, a lot of them, they didn't grow up in good environments. And as such, it's like, if I could do it, I can do it to other people. Because
I
the law
help
says
other
you love your
people.
neighbor as yourself. That's the law. And
Yeah.
if I can take this
Yourself.
pain, yes,
Yeah.
if I can take this pain, surely I should be able to put it on another person. And once the person complains, it's like you are too weak, you are chickening out. Rather than see it as you yourself, you are damaged, and you ought to try to connect to what this person is trying to say, connect to what this person is trying to do. You just feel, this person is not strong
Not
enough.
strong now. Like
And
the
as
person you
such,
never see anything. You
yeah,
never see anything. Now why they talk like this? This brings me like the next thought in my head is we're damaged.
very.
We are damaged. Like the average Nigerian is. In fact, this thing is even rubbing off on our kids. This thing is rubbing off on the younger generation. I the Children's Day, that was around when the children were kidnapped. I think I was somewhere and a school was doing their Children's Day party. They had a small party thing, and there was a party, and then after the party there was like a little prayer, and then there was like a 1 minute, no, it wasn't even up to 1 minute, like God help those children kidnapped. And then I think that period too, let me not bring politics into this. That period too, it was like there was nobody like in the government that was really talking about this thing, like, oh, our children have been kidnapped, our future generation, our this. There was no talk about it. It was now people who were individuals who were like, no, 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 we have to bring this thing to light. And it was kind of normal. It was kind of like, yeah, yeah, like
Funny how even the people that engaged in this so-called
bring back,
awareness,
yeah,
they are just creating content.
for
Because after a
selfish
week,
purposes.
a lot of them stopped.
Do you want to check
Everybody
your
has moved
Insta?
on.
Nobody is talking about. Okay, I see a couple of people still posting on their statuses, but what even pains me is that you posted this thing on your status. There was one that really got to me. He posted this thing on. They posted this thing on their status, and the next post was a post on Gege.
Look
You know
at
the Gege
look
guy.
at Ojude Oba, for instance. Ojude Oba is a festival that happens in Ogun State,
Yeah.
I believe, every year. Now, it was, I think, a week or just within that week of the kidnap and all of that,
It still held.
celebrities went there, and it was almost as if nothing happened. It was as if the same people that spoke about bring back this, bring back that,
Well, our
when it was time to
children,
have fun, they
they
could not
did it
postpone the
with
fun. The fun was still.
full.
Do you understand?
Oh,
Now, these are the things we're talking about.
guys, you are damaged.
These are the things we're talking
Stop,
about.
man.
How would, for instance, if it were your child that was kidnapped, would you attend that?
Ooh.
Would you go there? Teachers, for instance, a lot of schools still open the following day. The following day, schools opened. The following day, people still moved on as
Went.
though nothing
Nothing
happened.
happened.
Now, this is the reality we have found ourselves in. And these things, like you rightly said, the family is the basic unit of the society, is the smallest unit of the society. And once we can't get things right from a
The
family perspective,
family
a lot of times society crumbles.
is going to crumble.
It's going to crumble. So if you really want to fix things, we can't fix things independently. And the funny thing is, a lot of us blame our leaders. But the leaders can just, I believe they have just 50% of the blame.
Mhm.
The people who raised those people that kidnapped, who are they?
They are not the government.
Definitely.
They are not the government.
The people who saw them. See, things are happening in society. I was talking to someone, I think recently, and I said something. A man died in my area some time back. And this man, as at that the period of time, he was relieved of his job, he was looking for a job, his children's school fees and everything and everything. And he could not find. And that particular day, there was no food in his house. And I think everything got to him. He committed suicide and he killed himself. And I can tell you that evening, everybody in the street ate of his
Brought.
burial food.
Oh my God.
Everybody in the street ate of his burial food to a point where there was excess. It was overflowing. Now, this is the society we tend to live in. We don't show love in the sense of connecting to other people. We feel, no matter how bad your situation is, like they say, there's someone that I
It's
believe you can
worse.
still reach out to.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean giving money. A lot of times, presence.
Present.
A lot of times, your ability
Presence.
to talk. Something happens. There's a Yoruba adage that if they say pick it, and you don't help them to pick it, they might likely drop it in front of your door. A lot of times, you see people going astray, but you feel it's not my child. What concerns me? I'm not going to speak about it, and you move on. That person will grow up to be a robber that will come and rob your house. That person will grow up to be somebody probably in future that will influence your children. just because you had the right to influence, but you felt it doesn't
It's not
pertain
my
to, it's not my
thing. It's
business, it's not
like,
my child, it's
am
nothing
I
has to do with me.
picking? Who am I
Do you
picking
understand?
now?
And this is the cycle of the society. What you do not attend to it tends to just come around and bite you in the back.
And yeah. From this thing now, like that I can decode that government is not really the main problem in Nigeria. Government is not as much as but government is not the main issue in Nigeria. It is us. But I don't think
Mhm.
we are aware that we are also the problem. It's easy to point fingers and say it's because of this. I did this because of this. Oh, I'm like this because of this. I took this bribe. You know waiting anything for government. You know waiting. In fact, there was I had a very crazy experience. I had to register a particular exam. I had to register my younger sister for a particular exam, and I was so surprised. So surprised. So I registered her for a national exam and I registered her for an international exam. Kind of the same kind of paper you're getting, but the international one is recognized outside and the Nigerian one is. And the processes were two completely different things. The first one, the national one, the international one was more expensive in terms of fees and all. But once you paid your fees, you were like the process was the national one. The national one, first of all, you couldn't use a MacBook to register. Apparently, a lot of Nigerian sites can't, the exam sites, I don't see the exam, could not use a MacBook, could not access the site. So we had to find an Android. And then the whole process that would have taken from my house that evening, I'm done. It took, I think, a week. With one of the days, I had to take my sister along with me to do one or two. And we point our fingers and say, yeah, the system is bad because people at the top. But I feel like there's no awareness in us that come even if we get it from the top, we now that are like from the government, we that we I don't have access to the government definitely, but I have access to people who sell on the road. I have access to businesses. I have to talk to people, and they behave a certain way, and they blame the government for it. When we make the government right, do we think that we will actually become right, or is this just something that we just feel like it's the government? There's no awareness in us because I feel like there's no awareness in Nigerians. We just think that it's not us, it's the government, it's Satan. What do
Yeah,
you think?
yeah. I think it's very easy to point fingers, at people and blame the government, as we rightly say, the nation, the system, and we are forgetting that little drops of water makes a
Again,
mighty
oh
ocean,
yeah,
right? These people are just a fragment of us. They are not a
true,
different breed.
true.
They are the same people with us. And let me cite an example. I was in the office, I think around February, if I'm not mistaken. We had an event, and the event happened to be that we brought a lot of things, we brought juice and everything and
Yeah,
everything. And towards the end of the event, it was like freedom was given, not things were not handed to people like
just
take
pick
this, like pick.
as a respectful adult, like using your head, pick what you like.
Do you understand? And you now begin to see the true hearts of
The
men.
color.
Do you understand?
Oh
And
my
someone said something,
lord.
said choices. When people have choice, when choice is a thing, you really tend to understand the kind of person you are.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you have the ability to choose and
Mm-hmm.
pick, it shows you a side of
The
yourself you
person you
might not
truly,
have known you are.
yeah,
And this, I believe, is what happens in government. A lot of these people feel that I will do better. But when they get there, they see they have choices.
access.
Do you understand? And you now see that there's a part of me that really wants to take more than every other person.
Yeah,
I think two will not be okay for me. Even though the other person does not have, but
yeah.
for me, I think I'm not satisfied with two.
Let me
I
take
think I need
more.
five. And this thing is I feel it's a damaged
Disease.
mindset.
Yeah.
And such things, I believe, we should start to treat it from a young age. If you go to the Asian countries, there is a culture that they imbibe into the younger ones. Your ability to cohabit, the ability to care for the next person.
Yeah.
You hardly find people there stealing. You hardly find people there greedy. or not content with what they have. Why? Because from a young age, these things have been
It's
instilled in
ingrained in
them.
them.
Yes, but growing in our country, even from your parents, when you are in a party, your parents wants to have food
Ah,
for just
Pico, one
my
take
child
go.
alone. Have you eaten? You are not eating. The other person,
In
it doesn't
fact, when
concern
you
anybody.
even eat, you say, bring this, let me hold this. I've seen it happen. That a mother told the child, bring this, let me hold it for you. Tell them, say, you not get, collect another one.
Now, what are you teaching that child? Once this child grows up, he now tends to see that I think I should have two.
Yeah.
And once he has two,
He
he
wants
wants
four.
four. And it goes on because the human needs is insatiable.
Yeah.
You cannot satisfy. That's where contentment comes in. You see, contentment is something that I believe we should, as much as possible, find in every Nigerian. Every Nigerian, someone said, every Nigerian, we are transactional.
Yes, we
We
are.
want something,
In all facets of life, oh,
we are very transactional.
not just business, oh, like
It's a give and take.
even your closest relationships. You think,
It's a give and take. I'm there for you because you are there for me.
yeah, when you're
And
not there for me,
that's why we
like,
have things like, even in friendships, you have things like, this person, when I needed something, was not there. Let me block him. Anybody that cannot help you, block the person. Now, am I there to help you when you dictate the kind of help I can
I
give? Or I am there to help you when I really have
I
a help to
can,
offer?
yeah.
These are the issues. We are damaged. I feel someone said something, said every Nigeria is damaged beyond repair. And
I'm very glad I didn't
really, we
fail.
are we are just walking damaged people trying to feast on other damaged people. The average person that sells something in the market today is selling because he wants to, in 2 months' time, be the talk of town. So something you ought to sell with, probably you buy 10 naira, you ought to put probably 5 naira on it. The person hikes the price. Things go down in Nigeria. You see, look at, I think 2 years ago, the price of sugar, oil went up. It came down, but you have
It
not
has
heard
not
that
gone
it will
down.
never come down again.
That's how we are.
You
Inflation
know,
is inflated.
a tycoon in business was complaining, I think Boa Cement, that they wanted to
Yeah.
drop the price of their cement. Marketers said they were not going to buy because it was not going to pay them. They want to sell at the rates that they are still selling. They want to have the profit they are still having.
Now we
So
dey do
rather than
ourselves
buy something for
cheaper.
3,000 and sell it, for instance, for 7,000 and have 4K profits, the people again I say, okay, we're bringing the price of our cement to 6,000. So it shortchanges them of 2,000, and they rather say no. You rather allow the other man suffer for your needs. For instance, look at the country now. The average citizen is suffering the cost of people at the top. The burden is not on them. The burden is on the people.
Us.
Yes, the
Yeah.
people down. So these things, once another person thinks about it, okay, what am I doing? Why am I suffering the way I am? Because one person chooses to make me suffer. What do I have? How can I make the next person suffer? Or how can I get what I want? So it's easy to overlook the other person as long as you are getting your needs met.
Yeah.
Kidnapping is not a thing in the country. Banditry is not a thing in the country.
Crazy.
Why? Because it's
Crazy.
lucrative. Someone
You
can
will get,
just kidnap someone and say, I need 10 million. And
and
it
you will get,
appears.
and the funny thing is, we say there's no money, but you will find a way to get that money out.
According to statistics, if I'm not mistaken, we have spent over trillions of naira per year. We
For
spent trillion on kidnap.
paying
It's not a billion
kidnappers.
dollar industry now. It's a trillion naira industry to kidnap a person. We
I
have crossed billions. We are now in the
Because
realms
of
of
that,
trillions.
I had a cousin who was kidnapped last year around August. And that was when I now really truly realized that prevention is better than cure. You watch movies, you see
Mm.
cases of when people, people are kidnapped, and you see how the police, when she was kidnapped, we all thought like, oh, we'll go to the right authorities and everything will be fine. When we now went to the right authorities, we now realized that this is not all man for himself. When they were now given the ransom note, I was boiling. I was like, this is we can actually find these people. It's not. It's something we can. I was still using that mentality. Like, we have intelligence in this country now. Like, we're not that dumb. Really, I feel like we can find this girl. I told him there's a time frame. They're not able to. They raise that money now. They raised that money, they paid for it, and they got their child. And I was like, wow, okay, when you guys went to the police, what happened? And I was not really involved in this. It was just things I heard. So I was like, why did you guys actually go to the police? In my ignorance, I was asking, did you go to the police? And they're like, yeah. Did you go to the police? When you went, did you people see? I was just feeling like there is no way on earth that
We all know these days, sorry to say that a lot of government parastatals are now raised to make money for the government.
really,
It's so sad, but we all generally know, we know that a lot of parastatals that ought to secure life and property are extorting
actually,
people.
yeah.
Now, I was going through a statistic or a document where we don't have a budget for security.
Are you serious?
We have, but we don't have because
Guys, stay
it's not
safe out
funded.
there. Oh, stay safe.
It's not
Hey,
funded.
Omo.
You see, even the police knows that he himself is not safe. If the police get missing today, who is going to look for the police? And the funny thing, this is the part that pains me the most.
Sorry,
You
I'm
see,
laughing.
an individual can come and, for instance, say something the government thinks is or considers inappropriate on social media.
And
Under
that day,
24
that
hours,
day, we go catch out.
under 24
They
hours,
don't
you find
locate.
the person. Now look at what is going on. Bandits are posting videos online. They have social media
I
accounts.
heard they did give away, sir.
They flaunt these things online, and yet we have 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we can't find them.
So we can't
These
find.
people they are registered with the communications, either a SIM or something. A lot of them have, let's put for instance, they have what do you call this cyber tracking. You can track them. They have cyber footprints, but for some
Really,
strange reason,
we can't
you
find
cannot
them.
find people that are kidnapping other people, but you can find someone that says a rude comment online. In under 20,
That says
20
something
hours,
about the
you found
government.
people. Under 20 minutes, people that are fighting for the right of other people, people that are somewhat advocating for the masses. You see that they'll just automatically get kidnapped from nowhere. These things are serious issues that are going on in the country
And
right
we're not
now.
addressing it. We are closing our eyes to it. It's not normal. It's not normal, guys.
You
It's
see,
not normal.
I feel there's a level of, I want to call it illiteracy, because a a mentor of mine used to say something. Says a poor man is an uneducated rich man. There's a level of illiteracy that I feel the Nigerian people have kept themselves, that has not allowed them to see beyond the veil that has been placed before them. Because if you really transcend beyond food and drink, look at what happened in the US. If I'm not mistaken, there was a point in time when the blacks and the whites were not allowed to sit on the same lane.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, for a period of, if I'm not mistaken, over a year, when it happened that the blacks started boycotting and would rather trek to their
To
works,
work. Like,
it took time, but what needed to be done was
was
done.
done
There's such a way that everybody, we are so concerned about, hey,
ourselves.
do you
A
understand?
tiny
Comfort
circle.
in
Comfort.
a seemingly, it's so myopic. Like, we have this level of comfort that we are attached to. We don't want to inconvenience ourselves. Go and protest. I don't want to die.
They kill me.
But you are shouting, some people fought for the freedom of Nigeria. And this cowardice has been passed from generation to generation. And I feel we need to start raising people who are literate. And when I mean literate, people that are conscious. They know what it takes to liberate the nation. And they are ready to put in the work. Because I say something. If you have the right, you have the right knowledge and you are not able to apply, you are as good as nothing. It's your application that really, really makes you matter. So if you really know what to do, if we know what to do, let's start doing it. Or else we will still keep on telling stories and such things will keep on reoccurring. And funny how nothing is going to be done about it.
Nothing.
Nothing is going to be done about
Nothing. Nothing. I was listening to radio the other day and I think the presenter is someone that I grew up listening to, and she said something after the kidnap of his children. She said that she used to always say something that she was going to see, she would be alive for to the point where Nigeria would change. That when she woke up this morning, that thought came to her head. And what the next thought that came in was like, she does not even think her children would be alive to see that change because of the way we, the masses, are going. We have accepted this thing. It's like, but there are different flavors. We are fed different flavors, and we are fed the first. We are fed this regime. We tasted it. We didn't fight and spit it out. Swallowed it. We said it would go better. The next regime came. We swallowed it. It was worse. We became worse. We say it go better. The next one came. I promised change. There was change, but not the time we thought. We swallowed that flavor, whatever flavor it was. We didn't spit it out. We became worse. We swallowed this flavor. The flavor is affecting us. We are becoming worse. And it's like we're now getting tolerant. Like, it's bad though, but tougher skin is emerging. And in that tougher skin is we are stronger and badder. That's the way I say it. We're stronger and worse. We have gotten to the point that we cannot we continue like this. I can't imagine having a child in this. That's my personal thought, right? But if we continue like this, I don't know what we'll end up as as a nation. Like, what will we become if we continue this? Before it was looking like this, but now it's like this. We continue this downward trajectory. What will we become? There are nations in Africa that I believe we should have learned from. We saw certain things that happened and we should be like, oh, let's not take this path because we've seen this path taken and this is what became. It's like we are seeing the path and we're even making our own path. But like it's like we'll keep on going and we'll add more. We'll add more salt to the path and it's becoming worse. Do you think that what do you think? What do you think? Like, how are we really going to get out of this thing? Because the average Nigerian now, you can't you see, they don't want stress again. Most of us are living in denial. Like, it's like, I don't tire. It is well. It is well. Your own is just let my children go to school. Let's eat. Let's have a place under a roof under our head. And any day where I see is my turn, I will use that my turn well. Like, what do you think? Because your average Nigerian is tired. I know I'm speaking for everybody. We are tired. We're not tired in the way like I'm tired of it, so this has to stop. More like anything will won't happen, it won't happen. Because I see a lot of there's this new talk on PVC, and people are saying, their votes don't count. And then I saw someone who posted something like, yeah, your vote doesn't count, said 40 million Nigerians. And then after the elections, they say, of course. But 40 million people who feel their votes don't count stayed at home because their votes don't count. What can drag us out of this lethargy, this exhaustion, and really make us angry to the point that we say, we not do it again. This thing we have to change. We have to move forward because there are bad eggs. As long as there are bad eggs, there are also good eggs. When do we get to the point that we say that the good has to triumph the evil? What will bring us to that point?
Well, I think the first step is a mass level of sensitization. We need to recalibrate our minds because the average Nigerian is not a Nigerian. The average Nigerian is a self person.
Yeah.
We need to think in the context of a Nigerian. A Nigerian is a person that understands that the benefit of one is the benefit of all, and the downfall of one is the downfall of all. And this starts from identifying as a Nigerian, not as an Igbo person, not as a Yoruba person, not as a Christian, not as a Muslim, not as a Hausa person, irrespective of your tribe. First, you put to perspective that I am a Nigerian. And whenever you see a fellow Nigerian, you are obligated to have an impact positively in this person's life.
Mm-hmm.
A communal mindset. This thing I think has been taken away. I remember a time when a community will send just one person to the university. Why? Because they believe that when you go there, you will come back and
And build.
enrich the community.
Mm.
The win of one is the win of the community. But now it's almost like an interpersonal race. First to get there, who is the best, who is the worst and better than this person. We are all living on comparisons. And that is not the right way to go. We need to have a unified mindset. And we need to have a goal-oriented Nigeria. We can't have a Nigeria that is dilapidated. Someone comes today and says, we are going left. The other person says, no, we leave that left. Let's go right. It's almost as if look at what happened of recent. The IMF telling Nigeria that they are not going to sponsor the loan. Why? Yeah. Because what have you done with the previous money? Where's the project? How far have you gone? Now, it's a disgrace that people of such status. I remember a time when adults were considered the people that hold others to a moral standard and etiquette. They were people that regulate values. Now, even the adults are people that corrupt the next generation. You see, funny how I was in a school, this year, and trying to put the children through, read your books. They were like, we don't need all those ones, so don't worry, we're going to pass.
Bro.
These children already know
whether they read or not, they are. That is another serious conversation we need to have. This is 90% of schools. Like, do you know that there is a fee included in when you're writing, that you will pay this fee so that we will help you? They will now take some of the money and pay invigilators. Invigilators will not invigilate. How can you come to invigilate an exam? You're waiting for them to come and bring your refreshment. They will not carry you out to principal's office. You will not go and sit down there that you are being refreshed. Refreshed from what? Did you go to?
And these were being paid.
They are paid. They are paid. And you see a child to tell you, there's no need. A child in secondary school, I said Pythagoras theory. Pythagoras theory that was a big deal. We sang it as
the formula.
They don't know, bro.
That's the Nigeria we're living in. And what do you expect these children to become when they get to the position of leadership? Because we can't pick leaders out of another bunch. It's still from us.
It will not just start from the top. We have to start from the bottom. We have to start from the grassroots. I can only think of JAM because that's something that I have seen. Even I had issues to add a really good score, but it wasn't able to get me the course until we did 1 or 2 before I was able to get the course I wanted. If we really, really want to, we need to start from the bottom. Because it's from the bottom up that we will be able to cure this disease in Nigeria.
This is a call to all Nigerians and even Africa. Get your PVCs. Get your PVCs. Power is in your hands. You cannot just leave it fallow. Use that power in your hand. First, do your part first, and we'll see what plays out. Please get your PVCs. Ensure you vote. Don't stay at home, guys. Don't stay at home. It is time for a change. We can make Nigeria great. The labor of our heroes past shall not and shall never be in vain. This is me saying thank you for viewing. Thank you. Subscribe, like, leave your comments. This is a goodbye from us here at the New Africa Studio. This will always be and will forever be unscripted. Bye, guys.